Right, what do we need to move in today? This is how I gamify tasks in my work to develop new skills and keep my memory sharp. I used to be a Dota 2 addict, and I would play lots of RPGs like WoW and always procrastinate and put off tasks and felt like I was always stuck in my job, never improving. One day I thought to myself, why don't I try doing the things that I'm doing in-game and apply it to my actual job and see if that can help me focus. So I did, and here are some of the things I use to gamify my work now so I can constantly learn and keep developing. So daily quests are basically to keep you sharp and to do quick practice at small things you want to improve at. And doing this consistently over a long period of time can really compound and have big results. So let's take a look at some of my daily quests that I've got here. I'm just showing them on my iPad, but typically I would just do this through my phone. So you can see here are the ones, if I scroll down to some of the stuff I've completed. I've got quite a lot of these SQL or SQL practices. Now, one thing that helped me a lot in my job was sometimes I would go like 3 weeks without using much SQL, and then someone would come to me and be like, I need this order from this client on these dates using this ordering system, and I would go to SQL and just completely forget how I wrote queries. So being able to practice it a little bit each day was a really big help in basically speeding up my process of doing this. And the other one you'll see that I have on here quite a lot is connect to servers. So in my workplace we have quite a lot of servers, so the last thing you want is at 6 in the morning you get a call saying the web server's down and you've not logged into this web server for like 6 months and you don't know your password, you don't know how to log in, you don't know your credentials or anything, and it's a complete disaster. So one thing I do just every day is just connect all the servers to make sure I can do it. And these are all just really quick wins that just help you be productive. Now you don't need to do them, straight away, you can just do them throughout the day. And they're supposed to be very fast, under 10 minutes maximum. So don't make these take forever, you just want to have these as quick little wins you can do. One example is you could say practice doing greps to find things, you could do some awk commands to filter your results, tons of things you can do. You could do networking by searching for things with ifconfig or netstart. There's lots of little wins you can get just to build up a skill a tiny bit each day. Making quest logs. So think of your main tasks that you need to get done as quests and make a quest log for each of them. So to do this, I use both the Notes app in Apple and Reminders, and I typically do it on my iPhone, just showing you on the iPad again for demonstration. But you could use a notepad, pen and paper, or any Android app with the same functionality. So every task that I need to get done, I follow the same process. I create a notes page like I'm doing here for the documentation I need to do, and I use a template as well, which I'll show you later, and this just saves time for sections that I'm going to typically use for the task. I can just have it all here right away. And I can also write all my notes, I can handwrite notes, type my notes, I can add in images, add links, and set this to reminders as well. And another thing I can do is I can also tie this in to the Reminders app, which I'll show you, and also assign these tags which effectively act as categories. So I've got a process where I use the Shortcuts app on my iPhone. So I just press the action button here, which will enable a shortcut I've created. It asks me to enter the task name, so I'm just going to enter a new task here just to demonstrate what I do. So I'm going to put create documentation, do done. Then it prompts me to set the type of work. So this is for the category or the tagging system, which is useful in Apple Notes. And then I can set a date and time for this task. So when I can set these categories, it helps me do the next step, which is basically building a skill tree, and I'll show you that in a moment. And here, my notes page is already created with a template. As you can see, everything just loaded in. And then if I go to reminders, I can see that a reminder has been set up with the date and time I made just before. So this is super helpful. It helps me speed up the entire process, make it quick and easy to change. I'll just show you an example of one. It also pins a note, so I'm just demonstrating that here. And then here is the most recent task I've been doing, which is my plan to upgrade our Red Hat Enterprise Linux servers to Red Hat 9, which is going to be a very fun one. So treat your tasks as quests, and by documenting your quests, then you can look back at your completed quest log and see what you've learned so far. You can track your progress, and you can almost see your experience in the different things you're trying to learn and improve at increasing each day. And this is a really good way to gamify learning. And it even helps you look towards the future and track where you're going in the next tip, which is looking at a skill tree. To do this, I've been given a category to each of the quests that I make with my phone. This is a new thing I've only just started doing, so there's not that many there just yet. So to give you an example, earlier we would have given the task, say, a systems admin tag here at the top. And if I go through my notes app with my iPhone, I can select just system admin, and this will show me just the system admin tasks that I've got here. And I can also see Linux, which is basically the same, as they often have some overlapping things. And these are some of the cybersecurity notes I took a long time ago. So what this is doing is this gives me a snapshot of my skill trees, the things I want to learn and develop at. If I've got a long-term goal to get more into cybersecurity or to do DevOps or cloud engineering, these are the skill trees that I really need to develop. So having a system like this helps me to keep track of the talents I've earned so far and where I've been placing my experience points, basically. If we think about it that way, it shows me where I've developed, it gives me documentation of everything I've done in the past, I can see all my past notes, and it allows me to think ahead and think, okay, what tasks in this skill tree do I need to focus on next? In my experience, the key to implementing systems like these in your life is keeping it simple and using things that you already have now. Don't make it complicated, use what you have. And I say this because people tend to let things hold them back, where they think, I need to get this app to be productive, I need to get a notepad, I need to follow this course, I need to watch all these videos first about setting goals. Don't let any of that bother you. All you need is a roadmap so you know where you're going and systems that you can execute and follow. So in my case, I'm using free apps on my phone. I'm using the Notes app and Reminders, which are both completely free, and all my roadmaps I get from research through YouTube and also from using AI tools like ChatGPT. So keep it free, keep it simple, and that is what you will genuinely be able to grow from. It makes it so productivity is so much more simpler. You're not going to, say, for example, buy a new notepad where you're going to do bullet journaling and write something down every day, and then one day you go to work and you forget your notepad and everything goes out the window. With your phone, it's much easier now. You might have an Android phone. Don't let the fact that I'm using an iPhone hold you back either. All of this can be done on Android as well. So that's my big tip here. Start now, start today, and use what you have. Don't buy something new. And before I go, take a look at my last video where I talk about how I went from IT help desk to a systems administrator role in 3 months using some of the systems I've shown you in this video. Take care. Bye.